Hope you guys are having a great day today. It is a beautiful day outside. They didn't predicted rain, but it looks like it's not going to happen today. And we got a great show lined up for you guys today. My good friend, comedian, actor Matt Cassane coming back, starting off with a little special tribute to former President Donald Trump. So we have a great, fun day today of excitement. Guys, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us call at 847-7609 to book a show. Every show dedicated to the first responders, but mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show. I really do appreciate it. It's Wednesday, June 5th. We are in there, and it's showtime, guys. So make sure you sit around and it's going to be a good afternoon of fun and excitement. So showtime it is. Thank you, Dina Manzella from Seventh Heaven. Guys, Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, Monday through Friday at noon. And we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Let's get right to our sponsor, and buy local with our good friend Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Norwich, Displays, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, and now Mesa, Arizona. Time to tune up that lawnmower, folks. $105 plus parts. They're your neighborhood powerhouse. Take advantage of the auto key programming at all their stores. They program and car cut keys up to 50% less than the dealership. Visit the Helpful Hub to speak to a certified team member. And guys, don't forget, looking up to spice up your food and grill. Check out their spices, rubs, sauces to add to your barbecue fest. And don't forget to tell them to grill your Ace off. They have all your favorite Ace products there, folks. That's right. Our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place, buy local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, I also want to apologize to my good friend Carol Brandolino yesterday because we couldn't get her on the show. Of course, yesterday was Twisted Tuesday with Carol Brandolino every Tuesday. So Carol, she got on for a minute, and then we lost her because yesterday I went fishing. Well, we started in the morning. We got a guide, me and my good buddy Bill Serratella from Oceans Rat Pack. We got a guide. We went to picked him up at Bristol, Wisconsin, about 5. But I got there about 6 o'clock in the morning. Then we drove to Williams Bay, Wisconsin, right next to Lake Geneva. We picked up our guide there at 7. And we went out for try to catch walleye. Now, there was no walleye, unfortunately. That was the bad part about it. But the good part about it, we got some great big bass and some great bluegills. So it was a lot of fun, and we're going to probably definitely do it again. So yesterday we did the Ocean's Pit live from Lake George Lodge in Bristol, Wisconsin. With at least 1,000 views. So thank you so much for that. And Carol was on the very beginning because we split the screen on the phone. You know what I mean? I'm just going to have to start carrying my laptop around so that doesn't happen again. But we got a lot of great show coming up. My good buddy Matt Cassane, actor, comedian. He's done everything. He's been around a long time. But for the first part of the show, we're going to have former President Donald Trump joining us. That's right. The Don will be in the house. And then the second half, we'll talk about Ahmed himself. But before we bring him on, folks, let's get down to some more sponsors because they pay the bills. You know how that works. So if you're going to go with that way, we just talked about Ace. Let's talk about my good friend Mary Grievous, folks, because, looking to put your home on the market, buying or selling your home, Mary Grievous is the one for you. Right, folks? Let's perfect real estate professional. Whether you're putting your home on the market or looking for your dream home, give Mary Grievous a call today. She's available to assist buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, expired listings. Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Actually, that's M. Grievous at starkre.com, or give her a call at 630-688-1725. And also, folks, let's not forget that Mary Grievous is also in charge of NTD Vacations, and that's the Chicago Music Cruise 2025. You guys missed the one in January. I don't know why you didn't get a chance to jump on the cruise for that one, but we're going to do it again. We're going to give you guys another chance to join us on March 22nd through March 30th. It's going to be an 8-day cruise, folks. 8 days of fun in the sun and on the water with Ocean, and it's going to be good. Besides Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So let's try to get this thing going. I'm excited. Here's what's going to be. Our first stop is going to be, we're going to start off in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Then we're going to go to Carousel. Then we're going to go to Aruba, baby. And then we're going to end off at Coco Key, Bahamas. Aruba is worth the trip alone going to Aruba, folks. And get this lineup. It's going to be Mojo's Jukebox Unplugged. It's going to be Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band. So far, we got Tony Toto, Jerry Jams, and Danny Ramundi. And then, guys, Hillbilly Rock Stars will be joining us, the #1 country band in the whole city of Chicago. And the ringleaders themselves, Seventh Heaven. All of us, 8 days, March 22nd to March 30th, 2025. Give Mary a call at 630-688-1725 or go to chicagomusiccruise.com and tell them Tony O sent you. We're excited, man. We got a lot of good stuff going on. And I'm going to have my buddy Matt Cassane on. Every time Matt's on, we have a good time. So let's get another commercial here, folks, about Garelli Pigment Services, family owned, operated. Their service includes Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, specializing in doing both asphalt, concrete work. They do repairs, replacements, seal coating, crack filling, and lot painting. They are a 5-star rating. Call today to speak to an knowledgeable representative, 527-5835, or go to their website at GarelliPavementServices.com. And let's get one more on the way before we bring my good buddy Matt Cassane on. We're going to talk about Jack Vena. That's right. Hey, folks, for all you landscaping needs, call the best. Jack Vena Landscaping. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring and fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They also offer plant design service, installation. They've been servicing the North Shore for over 44 years. That's right. Call my buddy, Cousin Tommy, at 847-432-5266. Tell him Tony O sent you. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Boy, is there a lot of crazy shit going on in this world? Yeah. Before we bring on Matt, let's say hello to who's watching. Lake Geneva's in the house. Joanne, Tommy D, what's up? Ronnie B, Jill from Nashville, Indiana's in the house. We have Nashville in the house. How you doing? Santa Barbara, California, Florida. Lulu Sylvester's in the house. Mary, how are you guys doing, folks? Iowa is watching today, and our good friends from Steubenville, Ohio. Angelo, how you doing? So it's nice to get some new people in. Richard Hamlin. Mario, what's up, buddy? And Professor Daryl Amistad. Now, before we bring that on, we got a busy schedule coming up. This Thursday, me and the Professor Daryl Amistad will be at Zaza's in Lake Barrington. It's going to be a lot of fun. Friday, we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Double T, Tony Toto. Saturday, we'll be at the Lyric Theater in Blue Island with Ocean's Rat Pack. Only about 15 tickets left, and we are sold out, baby. And then keeping the Ocean's Rat Pack thing going, we'll be in Munster, Indiana on Sunday for a concert in the park. It's going to be good. John Anthony, what's up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Ryan Lewis. Guys, all right. So with everything crazy going on, huh? Boy. It just doesn't get you just one thing after another. And we got a couple things we're going to talk about. We got to bring my good buddy Matt Cassane on. But before we bring Matt on, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on our former president, Mr. Donald Trump. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Mr. Trump, how you nice hair day. How are you doing, Mr. Trump, today?
You know something, Tony, it's been a rough week. I didn't really have time to go into hair and makeup today and have everything done. And then I got off the plane. I got off, the Secret Service plane, and it was really windy here in Chicago. I had the hair blowing everywhere. So yeah, I'm traveling. I'm traveling just with a couple of guys, no hair and makeup ladies. So pardon my hair today, folks.
That's okay. So you are just, but you're here, and thank you. I know you're a busy man. Everything that you've been going through, and the world. I mean, God, it's just been crazy. We just like to get you a couple of comments on maybe some of the things that have come down and what social media has been saying and the news has been saying. First of all, before we get into some of these questions and stuff, how is your mood right now with all those horrible thing that happened with 34 guilty counts on that trial? What's your opinion? How are you feeling right now?
Well, Tony, I know that a lot of people here have an affection for the number 34 because of the great Walter Payton. The Chicago Bear. He
Yes.
still holds the record for most yards in a season, most touchdowns by any other NFL player, and of course the great Route 34, also known as Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. So 34 is really a good number here in Chicago. So I don't know about you guys. If it's okay with everybody, I'll have to check in with Michael Jordan and Coach Ditka. But I think I'm going to start living in Chicago. Okay, 34. Everybody loves the number here, so it's no big deal. I'll just build a house up in Deerfield or Bannockburn, Kenilworth. I might even buy Jordan's old mansion. I heard it's been for sale for about 20 years now, and it's got a basketball court.
Yes,
I love
yes.
basketball. I love that you're invited, Tony. You can bring your family. We'll all play basketball. We'll stay up all night, and then we'll go to McDonald's and get some cheeseburgers. We'll go back and play racquetball, just like Elvis. Elvis used
And
to
we'll
play
have some fun.
racquetball
So
all night.
at least you're taking this as a grain of salt. What about the actual trial? Well, what did you think about all that? I
I
know
was a
you're going to
little upset.
appeal.
I request. You know what? I'm really good friends with Judge Judy. I requested Judge Judy. She would have been a lot more lenient towards me. I tried to get Judge Judy in there. She wasn't anywhere to be found. I called her several times. She finally got back to me a little bit late. She was in Guadalajara with her special someone. I don't know what they were doing. They were having a lot of fun. And then, of course, Tony, a lot of people, every time I come on your show, they're always asking me the main question they want to know about the Donald is why I use my hands so much when I talk. And as I said before, I'm part Italian. My great great grandfather came here from Sicily. His name was Donaldo Trumpolino. As I told you before in the past, he's a great man, a great Italian. I love all the great Italian Americans, especially here in Chicago. You guys have the best cuisine anywhere in the world. Every time I come here in town, I gain at least 5 pounds. I love Chicago.
Well, and Mr. Trump, I love all this here. I love all this stuff, but we got some questions here, and we just want you to think. Now, this is from your friend Tucker Carlson. Import the third world, become the third world. That's what we just saw. This won't stop our president, former President Donald Trump, will win the election if he's not killed first. But it does mark the end of the fairest justice system in the world. Anyone who defends this verdict is danger to you and your family. Mr. President, don't you worry, former president, don't you worry about the way people are in this world? Because there's tons of great backers for the president, of course, but some of these people out there, are you afraid? I mean, I know you got great Secret Service around you, but what's in your mind there?
Well, as I always say, Tony, if there's a guy out there that wants to get me, he's going to get me no matter what. The great John F. Kennedy said the same thing, and so did Abraham Lincoln. There's nothing we could do about that. If there's a guy that's crazy enough, he's just going to follow me around. That's the way it's going to have to be. But one second, hold on a second. I got a phone call. Hold on a second. Hello.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, hello. Hold on one second. No, it's Chachi. Chachi's on the phone. Scott Baio. All right, Scott Baio. Yes, Scott, it's the Donald. I was just calling in to find out. Thank you for calling me, by the way, Chachi. Chachi, would you speak on my behalf at the Republican convention like you did back in 2016? You're going to do it? That's fantastic. All right, everyone loves Chachi. All right, and Chachi, by the way, I did try to get Fonzie to do it. He did not want to do it. All right, and then I tried to get that little midget guy from Fantasy Island. I don't know what his name is, but he's dead. All right, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, take care, Chachi. I love you, Chachi. I love you. All right, bye.
Yeah,
Chachi. That was Chachi.
Scott Baio. You got some big, powerful friends there. Speaking of powerful friends, former president, when that verdict was done and guilty of all counts, you seemed to raise in 24 hours. You raised $52.8 million from your followers. You have to be very helpful and very thankful for that. What do you feel about that?
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for all the Trump supporters across America. You guys are out doing a fantastic job. And, I just also want to mention this so I don't let anybody know that the Donald Trump Bible is still available. We still have plenty of copies. I have an entire warehouse, a warehouse of the Trump Bibles. It's fantastic. Tone, I know you have your own copy. You were the first one. I autographed it to you. I know I'm not
Yes, yes,
Jesus. I'm not Mr. Jesus. I'm not God. But you know what? I decided I was like, I'm gonna sign my Trump Bible to Tony Ocean from the Donald.
there you go. And I appreciate that very much. Now, you know what I'm very surprised about, Mr. President? Here's what I'm and I want everybody to realize this. Usually when verdicts or something happen and there's a side that's either happy or a side that's sad, people riot in the streets, people have problems, people start destroying stuff. I'm going to notice how we didn't, Trump followers, ladies and gentlemen. Notice that they didn't burn down the cities last night because of the outcome. Instead, they raised a man $52.8 million in 24 hours. See what I mean? There was no chaos. People weren't going around knocking things over, burning things, chaos. It was a peaceful thing, and they did it where it counted to the money. So you have to be very, very excited about that. And I think that's very, very important. It shows where most of the American people are. What is your opinion? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
All I was going to say, Tony, is that you mentioned rioting in the streets. I'm totally against that. I like a nice, peaceful life, a nice, peaceful country. I'm here to maintain peace amongst all men. You know that. That's how I am. But I would like to now really what I want to do is my campaign song for 2024 is going to be Dancing in the Street by the great Mick Jagger and David Bowie. Let's dance in the street. Let's not riot. Let's get out there and dance. Okay. And I think I've done this before earlier this year on your show. My campaign slogan, if you don't know already, 2024, Biden will be hiding in 2024. It's going to be huge.
I love that. I love that. That's fantastic, boy. Wow. That's very, very cool. Well, President, how's the family handling all this right now? How's your son and everybody? How are they all handling everything that's going on right now?
Everybody seems to be doing great. I have not seen Melania in about 6 months. I'm not sure where she's at. I still love her to death. We are still legally married, but I'm sure she'll be coming back very soon. She loves Mar-a-Lago, and I'd like to know all the ladies out there right now. I'd like to let you know, okay, the Donald Trump beauty pageant is still going to happen in 2024 in Atlantic City. I'd like to get all the ladies to sign up that are watching right now. All the beautiful ladies here in Chicago, we love you. All right, come on out. And the winner's going to get a weekend pass to come down and hang out at Mar-a-Lago. Melania will be there. It'll be fantastic. The whole thing is going to be catered by McDonald's.
The whole thing will be catered by McDonald's. One of the last couple of questions here. This is from Newsmax. I heard that your party and your group has called in on the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene in the New York criminal trial that will be scheduled sentencing on July 11th. What do you think will happen with the outcome with the Supreme Court, former president?
I'm not really sure about what's going to happen. All I know is that Clarence Thomas and I are good friends. We used to hang out together all the time. Back in the 70s, we would go to discos, hang out at Studio 54. It was a lot of fun. We were both from the same age group, you know that. And, he liked the shy lights. I liked the stylistics. We would get out there. We would boogie, oogie, oogie.
I love it. And you have a couple of people that if you, when you do run for president for the next election coming in November, there's a bunch of rumors out there. They're picking 4 different persons. I'm just wondering if these are have you decided yet? I'm sure you're not going to make that announcement on this show, but Governor Doug Burgum, Senator J.D. Vance, Senator Marco Rubio, or Senator Tim Scott. Any of those people I know that you put on a list? Anybody that might give us a little hint, former president?
Well, as I said before, I took a phone call from a certain celebrity, as you guys know, and he was a great American, a great celebrity. Just like Ronald Reagan, another great Republican. He became a celebrity back in the 40s and 50s. He started dabbling in politics. Before he knew it, he was the governor of the great state of California, and he became our president. So what I'm thinking right now, I'd like to say it on the Tony Ocean Show. My running mate for 2024, the campaign, is going to be Chachi. It'll be Scott Baio. It's going to be huge.
That's going to be your vice president. You know what? This
If
is
any,
all great.
if anything were to happen to me, if I was to suddenly not be able to fulfill my 4 years as El Presidente, Scott Baio can come in. It'll be fantastic. We have Al from Al's. He's going to be our Secretary of Defense. Al's from Happy Days. He's still alive. He's going to be great. It's going to be great, and Arnold is still alive too. Arnold's going to be Secretary of the Press. It's going to be a fantastic cabinet. All the guys from Happy Days. We got Chachi. We got Potsy is going to be there. Ralph Melf. All those guys are going to be part of my new cabinet. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be a lot of good, just with Fauci, with Henry Winkler alone. One last question, President. I know you're a former president. You're very breaking news. President Joe Biden has announced new executive actions aimed at addressing the surge of migrants. He's trying now to closing the U.S. southern border. Wow. Isn't it ironic that now, you know what? Here's something that I'm getting. I mean, I think what they were thinking is that you're going to get guilty on all these counts and people are going to freak out and flip. Well, obviously, a lot of people did give you that support with the money that you raised. And even that GoFundMe page just blew up. You couldn't even use it anymore. But now he's thinking about closing the borders. Do you think he's doing it now because he realized that trial thing really didn't mean anything to the American people?
All I can say is this, Tony. I'm a little perturbed. Joe should quit being the president and quit being in politics and go get a job at Sir Speedy because he's nothing but a copier. Okay, I swear to God, he copies off of everything I do. I became president. He became president. He would have never run for president until I did. He's a big copycat. So all I know is this: who came up with the border first? The Donald back in 2015. I'm going to close them. Everybody yelled at me to say, "Donald, don't put up that wall." And now Biden's doing it. So he's a big copier. Hey Joe, go get a job at Kinko's because you're a copier.
Copier, that's what. And one last thing I have to ask: now that Stormy Daniels did actually tell everybody that she should be able to, she should have to give back the hush money correctly, because when you get the hush money to somebody, you're supposed to shut up. But instead, she decided to tell people, "What is your opinion on that?" With Stormy Daniels, she should give back them hush money.
Well, there was a movie years ago that Stormy and I made. It never became a huge release. It was called The Donald Does Dallas. Okay. And it was a great movie, but it got shelved. It might be coming out after I finish my next term in office. All I know about Stormy is this, Tony. She is going to be one sorry lady when I am out of the office. I'll tell you that right now, because if that movie comes out, it's going to make her look bad and it's going to make me look huge.
Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, former President Donald, the Don is in the house. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on Ocean's Pit. And ladies and gentlemen, in a couple more minutes, we're going to bring back our good buddy, Matt Cassane. Thank you, President. God bless you. And let's make America great again in 2024.
Thank you, Tony. It's always good to be here on Ocean's Pit. Thank you. Love you, Chicago. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that was my good buddy, of course, Matt Cassane, and of course, playing Donald Trump. And Matt will be coming on in a couple more minutes as himself. We'll talk about what he's got going on. Of course, we have a little fun there with, ladies and gentlemen, with him doing. He does a lot of different other people. Great actor, and of course, he does. Chris Farley they're doing a big Saturday night live movie, and we're going to have some parts of Matt Cassane in that. But while Matt is with President is changing and coming back to as Matt Cassane, a couple things here, folks. Love your animals, folks. I just had a lion cub die in Lincoln Park Zoo. I hate when you hear stories like that, man. Just crazy stuff, because you know how much I love animals. Also, folks, National Cheese Day today. Happy 40th anniversary to the Metro train. 40-year anniversary. And yesterday, everybody with AT&T freaking out on the blackout. You couldn't get calls. You couldn't receive calls. Me and Jerry were trying to talk. Jerry Rendon with AT&T, and they had some big problems yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys were going through that, AT&T, but God bless. At least I'm glad everything is okay now. Also, congratulations, my good friend Robin and Danny. Of course, Danny and Robin from Armando Supermarkets. Buy local, shop local, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. And let's not forget Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair for all your collision auto repair needs. Go to crashchampions.com. Verizon, too, I think. I had no problem with our phone, Carol, just to let you know on that. Lillian, I can't, I'd like to see you kill. I just can't understand some of the stuff you're saying there, honey, but I hope you're doing well. All right. So, congratulations, Robin. Her brand new dog, her name is Enzo. Oh, you got to love that, folks. All right. A couple other things here, folks, about another sponsor. Now that the summer is here and it's time to get things done around the house, we already talked about the asphalt. We already talked about the lawns and all that other good stuff. How about we need to talk about our good friends from, that's right, Airtight Windows. We cannot forget Airtight Windows. Let's get up here, folks. I'm just trying to find it, all this stuff that we have here. And sometimes this thing doesn't move as well as it should. All right, so for all your summer needs, windows done, windows and sidings, let's talk about our good friends from Airtight Windows, folks. That's right. If you're looking for new windows and you want it done right, do it right with Airtight. For honesty and quality, dependability, do it with Airtight. And servicing Chicagoland for over 35 years, do it right with Airtight. Give Louis Pipes a call at 708-788-5000. That's 708-788-5000. Tell them Tony O sent you and Ocean's Pit, and that's what it's about. All right, Ocean's Pit, and now our quick little over there, and my good buddy Matt Cassane is joining us. Matt, of course, who performed playing the part of former President Donald Trump. Matt, great to see you, buddy. Hold on. We're going to get this over here so we can get you and start having a little fun. I want to thank you for being on the show as always, man. And I just love what you keep doing out there. You keep going out there and you keep busting your butt and keep performing. And, oh, man, today, I tell you, with these computers, sometimes everything's a little bit slow, but we're here. Okay, so real fast, Matt. First of all, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy. The family's good. Grandfather.
Good.
We got a
Grandfather,
son, Kellen, out there. That's right. So we're excited. Business is good, doing good. You know, I love when you do your Donald Trump. You did it for my mom every time. My mom's birthday. She loves when you come out because she's a big Trumper. So she loves when you come out. And I know you've been doing parties when people hire you. When they hire you and you do parties at these things, the majority of the people, I know it's money and it's great and it works and you're good. I love how you do it. Do you get any backlash from people that are at the parties or were, you know, not the person that actually hired you, but you get people that are maybe not amused or, you know, did you ever get anything like that sometimes?
Yeah, occasionally I'll get somebody that will come up to me and they'll be like, "Excuse me, Mr. Trump, can I get a picture with you?" And then I'll be like, "Sure, no problem." And then, you know, they'll give me the middle finger while they're getting the picture.
Oh, okay. So you might get something like that. All right. And then, you know, see, yeah, I got it. It's crazy. You know what? That guy's been through a lot of shit. And I'm wondering, Matt, I mean, who would even want that job? With all the money that you have and everything, I mean, if you had money like him, would you actually want to be president of the United States?
You know, that's the big question that I always had. I was like, you know, I knew that he'd get a lot of people to vote for him, and he was a really popular guy just by being like, you know, a television personality and a real estate mogul and all that. And so, I mean, I was always kind of like, wow, he's going to kind of throw all that away. And then, you know, the aging process, this is an actual fact, the aging process for people, for men that have become president is like
twice as fast as a regular person. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's got a lot of weight to carry on his shoulders. So I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's a tough job, man. That's a tough job for anybody.
No, I agree with you on that, and I know that, like Emo said, Emo, my good friend from Florida, watching. He cares about the country. I really do believe that whether you like him or not like, I really believe he's trying to make the country better than it is. And I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit going on, and a lot of shit has changed since he was president, since he left office and President Joe Biden took over. A lot of things have changed, and I don't think it's changed for the better. So I'm going to wait and see what happens in November. We're going to look, people don't realize it's right around the corner. It's going to come fast, Matt. But then I also noticed that in Hollywood, agents, actors, most of them, they're all on the other side of against Donald Trump for some reason or not. I mean, there's a few that came out and spoke out. Look at the whole horrible Robert De Niro. I mean, come on. I mean, he's got a lot of things that he's a great actor and I love his stuff. I can't watch it anymore like I used to. I lost a lot of respect for this guy. I do give him a lot of credit though, maybe for speaking his mind, and this is what he believes in, and we can still do that in this country, but I think some people. Okay, I love you, sweetie. All right, bye-bye. Anyway, so, and then now, because you're a comedian in your field and everything you do you get a lot of that? Nobody talks about that stuff. But do you still talk around, some of your comedians sit around, your friends and actors sit around going, hey, you guys talk politics at all? Or is that like a no-no?
The thing of it is, I do a lot of impersonations. Trump's a really famous guy now. So, whether I like his politics or not, doesn't really come into play. It's just like he's a popular guy. And for my act, I have to learn to impersonate him. I even learned how to impersonate Obama. Bill Clinton was super easy. Bill Clinton was just like, one of the easiest ones.
Give me a little line of Bill Clinton. Give me a little line of Bill Clinton.
Okay, I gotta focus now. How's it go? I haven't done it in a while. Holy cow. Okay, Bill Clinton. Tony, I have to say that my favorite holiday, it always has been, Secretary's Day. I love that.
All right, give me a little Obama. Give me a little Obama.
That's a tough one. I never perfected that one. Tony, Tony.
Well,
I don't know. It sounds like Jimmy Stewart.
Josh.
How did it go again? Beyonce. Beyonce. I'd like to say she performed at my inaugural presentation, and can I just say she was bootylicious? There you go.
And speaking of presidents,
pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
If you had the outfit on, who knows? You might pass it off. What do you think about? I looked at the pictures. I seen the trailer of, is it Dennis Quaid playing Ronald Reagan? What do you think about that? I mean, I think that's going to be a pretty good movie.
Well, Nancy, yes. I used to do a little bit of Reagan. I don't know. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but yeah, I'd like to, take a gander. I'd like to check that out. It's on one of the 300 streaming services that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. You watch an Ocean Spit, little show about big things. Comedian, actor, funny man. My good buddy Matt Cassane is on, folks. Also, June is Men's Mental Awareness Month. Very, very important on that. Couple stuff. Also, Ron Onesti has just posted this morning that they're looking for help for jobs at the Taylor Street Fest. It's going to be happening, folks, August 9th, 10th, and 11th. We'll be there on the Friday performing with the Tony Ocean Band, but they're looking for help there. So go to Ron Onesti's page if you're looking for summer help for a quick cash for those 3 days. Ron Onesti at Taylor Street Fest. Nice. Matt, also, again, real quick, yesterday we heard the news. Tracy from Mike and Tracy's dad did pass away. Tracy's dad has passed away yesterday afternoon. Yeah, he wasn't well. Yeah, I did talk to Michael yesterday, and she's trying to keep herself busy, and we gave prayers to. Horrible when you lose someone close. We've all been through it, and we're all still going to happen. So It's just crazy.
Very sorry.
Man, being a comic that you were, when you were growing up, did you have a fun? What was your favorite comic strip? Did you watch the newspaper and read those strips, or were you a comic book guy? Did you have anything like that when you were growing up?
I always, I always liked the short ones, Family Circus. I always liked the Bazooka Joe comics that you would get in a little piece of gum. That's a Marmaduke. I always loved Marmaduke, the big dog,
Marmaduke, yeah, the big dog. I like that, folks. We're just looking at some more headlines here. Funny, the story you were speaking about, the guy that you took a picture with and they gave you the middle finger, whatever it was. Did you know the history? Did you know the history of the middle finger? Here's something I never knew before, and now I have come to know it. I've compelled to share my more intelligent friends. Okay, before the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, the French anticipated victory over the English, proposed to cut off the middle finger of all the captured English soldiers. Without the middle finger, it would be impossible to draw the renowned English longbow, and therefore they would be incapable of fighting in the future. This famous English longbow was made of the native English yew tree. So there you go. That's why the middle finger came from. Wow, to show a picture of this guy. All Americans see, that's where it came from. So instead of the words pluck you, it came to F you. So there you go. You got to need to download a little bit more information on the history of the middle finger. A lot of useless information here, folks, on the Tony Ocean Show. It's on Ocean's Pit. I don't have an attitude problem. You have a problem with my attitude. I love that quote and a lot of the quotes that you guys send in. Matt, I know you got. We'll talk about a couple of things you got going, but a couple of things real fast. Pornographic. They're trying to. Candace Owens or someone is trying to ban pornography. What's your thoughts on that?
Well,
really, these whack jobs are really going to come up with this stuff. So, I mean,
didn't see that
pornography right now.
Get it?
I mean, yeah, I get it. I mean, just the single men alone. Whether you download it, or you go buy the magazines, where you go to these little places, they have the windows and you put the money in the peep shows, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they closed Heavenly Bodies is gone. They closed that. So I'm just, what do you think? I mean, does it really make a difference to pornography if she's trying to ban?
I think it's going to be, what I'm worried about is, there's a town in Wisconsin, it's Racine County in Kenosha, Wisconsin. When you go over the state line, on both sides of the highway, they have all these adult bookshops. And I was thinking to myself, because they also have the cheese shops. So why not just put them all together in one big giant store? You could walk in and just order a quarter pound of Gouda, a half a pound of cheddar, and I'll have a copy of Bang-a-thon. Just get them all at once.
Bang-a-thon. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. I don't think pornography is a bad thing. I don't think pornography is a bad thing. I mean, I can understand it can be, look, whoever thought they're not banning fast food, it's bad for you. They're not banning alcohol, it's bad for you. They're not banning cigarettes and cigars, that's bad for it. They're not. I mean, it's crazy. They're just trying to take.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I do. Yeah, one thing I do know.
Thank you, Boyd. Yes.
In order to get that bill passed, in order to get that bill passed, it's going to be a very long and hard process, Tone.
Yes, a very long and hard process. See, Matt is always on top of things, folks. Funny man. Matt, did you have a favorite candy bar when you were growing up? A favorite candy bar? Did you have a favorite candy bar when you were growing up?
I liked them all, man. I loved them all. Baby Ruth, Snickers.
Snickers. Wait a minute. Better yet, a forgotten candy bar. One that they don't.
Well, I was just going to say.
How about that?
There's a tie, because I always think about this. There's the one candy bar that I love that they don't make anymore. It was called the Marathon Bar. Okay, and it was all caramel, all chocolate. Yeah, and that the other one that they still make, but it's very hard to find, is the Clark Bar.
Oh, the Clark Bar was actually very good too. Good point on that. Yeah, I like that. They still make Chunky. I liked the Chunky. Baby Ruth, I liked.
I love
Remember
Chunky.
the 1,000? Yeah, Chunky was great. Do they still have the $1 million bar or the $1,000 bar? Or the $1 million
I think they might.
bar?
I think so. Yeah. If you go to these specialty candy shops, these little shops, like around. There's one in Lombard. I forgot what it's called, but they sell all these rare 70s and 80s different types of candies that you can't find anywhere else.
There you go, and that's good stuff there. Here's a question that Lucia sent in. Why is it perfectly normal to pick your ass or pick your nose in public? There you go. Now, these are questions that people are actually asking.
I am totally in favor if you get what they call a wedgie.
Yes.
And it's stuck in there, man. You got to pull that out. I don't care if people are around. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm pulling the wedgie out. It's got to come out.
The wedgie is one thing. You got to pull it out. But when people are sitting in there actually digging into that or picking your nose I just can't, right? It's just crazy. It just doesn't make any sense to me, Matt. Crazy. Matt Kassane, actor, comedian. He's got a lot of stuff going on, folks. So let's talk about what he's got going on. Matt, you got, there you go, picking your nose. Another character that you've done for many, many years is Chris Farley. I know that I know his brother actually seen your act. And actually, we had him on the show too. Richard Hamlin says, yeah, it's $100,000 bar. Okay, thank you. My dad used to say, look, he's digging for a city. Boy, that's a good one. But I know you got to doing Chris Farley. What did you think of Chris Farley as a comedian actor?
I was fortunate enough to be able to see Chris when he was still at Second City before he became an international superstar. And I'll tell you what, the energy that guy brought to that club, to that theater, the 400 people, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There was no louder, uproarious laughter than when Chris Farley was on that stage, man. I mean, everybody else was great at Second City. They all did a fantastic job. I would go down there, Mike Myers, Tim Meadows, Joel Murray, Dave Pasquazi. I mean, some of the best comedic improvisers in the world. But Chris Farley would go in there, and man, that like they say, he would do anything for a laugh. Before I forget, I just want to say just a little plug. I was able to portray Chris in a new movie right here. It's called SNL 1975. It was an amazing experience, and hopefully you'll get back on your show next year, Tone, when it comes out in 2025. It's going to be great.
Let's talk about it. Like I said, Chris Farley, you've been doing Chris Farley for many years in your acts, in your stand-up, and people hire you to do Chris. It is a very sad thing that the young, but there is a movie now. Is it about him or is it about Saturday Night Live? Tell us a little bit about this, the new movie coming out.
Well, the movie that I'm in is called SNL 1975. It's about the very first cast of Saturday Night Live. At the end of the movie, Lorne Michaels has this little kind of fantasy sequence about the future of Saturday Night Live. And he sees all these people walking down Broadway out in front of 30 Rockefeller Center, NBC in New York. And it's all these future characters. It's Matt Foley, the church lady, Hans and Franz, Wayne's World, the Blues Brothers, the cheerleaders, But there is a new movie coming out that I'm not going to be in, unfortunately, about Chris Farley. I think it's called The Chris Farley Story. And the guy that played, that the movie about Nancy Kerrigan, the guy that hit Nancy Kerrigan, came out a few years ago. And then he also played Richard Jewell, the guy that got blamed for the.
That was a great movie. Great movie. Yeah.
That guy is going to play Chris, so he's fantastic, by the way, and he's more age appropriate. Unfortunately, me being in my late 50s, unfortunately can't do it. But I'll tell you one thing that's happened. I never set out to be any type of Chris Farley impersonator or anything like that. It hit me. It came to me. I was at the Salvation Army, and I was doing a little bit of Chris in my stand-up. I was at the Salvation Army store, and I just went in there to find something. I was looking for a safari helmet for another skit. Yeah. And I walked in there, and there was the Chris Farley right there. There's the jacket, the Chris Farley jacket that he wore in the Matt Foley skit on SNL, hanging on the rack for $7. And that was 20 years ago in 2024. So I bought the damn thing for $7. And this past year, just a few months ago, I was out walking my dog Marnie around Villa Park here, and I just happened to be walking down past a bunch of bushes, okay?
Yeah.
And I looked over. I never pay any attention to these bushes ever. I walk past them. I drive past them every day. Okay, so I'm just walking my dog. I glance over, and there's a pair of Chris Farley glasses right there. They're in the bushes. Exact kind of glasses that Farley wore. And I'm just like, what is this all about? It was 20 years between finding the jacket and finding the glasses. And that was like maybe about 2 months before I found out about the movie, before I got cast in the movie. So
Fate. It's fate. It's fate.
it's nuts. It's nuts,
It's
man.
fate. You know, Matt, I believe in all that shit. You know, I believe in all that stuff. That stuff happens, and that's very, very, very cool. I'm excited to you. You know, I see the comparison that people always say. I know he died so young. Comparison of him and John Belushi. Was there a comparison? I don't think there was them. I rather like Chris Farley than John Belushi, in my opinion. That's just me. What do you think compared to two? There is no comparison, number one.
No, I mean, you know, John Belushi was heavily influenced by the earlier actors from the 60s and early 70s at Second City. He used to go down there and watch them. And then he would go to parties and reenact those scenes for all his friends. Okay, so he was influenced by all those guys. And, you know, Chris was influenced by Belushi. So, I mean, but John was just like a savant. He was like a different kind of guy. I mean, not only did he do comedy, but he was a great musician and a singer. And he had the Blues Brothers, Animal House. He had all this stuff going. He was a really talented dude. And Chris just wanted to be like him so bad, you know?
Yeah, but Farley, I could see, and Chris Farley always made it look like he was playing the younger kid, a younger guy, and just like, you know, he almost reminded me of like the Jerry Lewis type in his movies, when he would always be like the downfall, the always trying to get the job done and always try to do this right. But his heart was in the right place, and that's what I think so many people loved about him. And it's a shame how he died. I mean, I'm sure there was people around him, Matt, saying, hey, man, you got to slow down. You got to. Same thing they probably told Belushi. Same thing they probably told Andy Kaufman. Same thing, you guys, you know, Robin, whatever. And, you know, even Elvis, when his friends around him, hey, Elvis, man, you got to cut this shit out.
These guys are like all big kids. They're all big kids. You know, they're all silly. They were all the class clowns, and they never really grew up. So let's say you take a kid, all right? Let's say you take an 8 or 9 year old kid. We were talking about candy bars. Let's say you give a kid his own candy shop. What's he going to do? He's going to go nuts. He's going to go in there and eat all the candy. It's the same thing with these guys, okay? You take an actor like Chris, who's making $400 a week at Second City, okay? And he's famous around Chicago, maybe around the Midwest. And then you give him everything.
Yeah.
You make him a millionaire. You make him world famous. It's the same analogy as, you know, buying a kid a candy shop, man. You give him everything. All of a sudden, he can buy anything he wants.
And he can have anything he wants. Almost the same story of when he got that high school football player, goes to college, and and then bam, he signs a big deal with the NFL and billions of dollars and all the women around you. And here, Chris, this. Look, where am I at in my life? At the times, at certain places in my life, there would be people around me giving me whatever the fuck I wanted. And that's at my level. So do you imagine quadruple that when you see these big stars and comedians and actors? They can't leave the house and got to be stuff that's got to be completely crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
I saw. Yeah, I saw an interview with Alec Baldwin one time, and he was talking about going out. He was just going to go out with his friends to New York, around Manhattan, to go to some bars, but he had to hire bodyguards before he went out. They can't go anywhere.
No, man,
they're a target. These guys are all targets, dude. They're all targets.
No, I agree with you. And if you think about this, though, too, I mean, think about the Beatles at that time. The Bay City Rollers we talked about, the Monkees. About Elvis, he could not leave that house. Okay, I mean, I'm thinking about all these guys at that time, and my God, I mean, Chris Farley was not only was he on movies, but he was also on television every Saturday. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Chris. That's the thing about Chris, though. Chris wouldn't go out with a bodyguard. He would go out by himself and just walk into a bar in Chicago. Right. I saw him in Burton Place after he had been on Saturday Night Live for like 2 years. He was just hanging out by himself.
Unbelievable. Matt, what else you got going on? I know you're still doing some stand-up stuff. You just did something for the Moonlight Theater with what was that? What was that?
That was a lot of fun, man. That was a crazy afternoon. I did comedy. Joe Contafio did some sing-alongs with the crowd. It was fantastic. Pam Polizzi was there. And then she showed her film, Dick Biondi, The Voice That Rocked America. And they raised a lot of money.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. She still needs money to finish this film. Now, look, here, I'm just going to put this out there.
Yeah.
PBS should run this movie. Okay, it's a Chicago-based movie, and I'm going to speak on behalf of Pam. I'm not trying to rock the boat or anything, but Channel 11. If anybody out there that has any connections with PBS or Channel 11, they've been trying to get it on PBS for years. Please just run this movie. It's a great story about a great Chicagoan, Dick Biondi.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we could she tried reaching out to Ron. Maybe Mr. Onesti might have some pull, might be able to help that too, because I agree with you. I think, Dick Biondi was huge. I mean, and very part of the Chicago world. And I think it would be very cool to have stories like that coming. They have, PBS does a great job. They have a lot of good stuff on there. And I think it definitely belongs on there. But that's a good point, guys. If you guys know anybody out there at Channel 11 or somebody, reach out to us. We really do appreciate it. We got a couple other shows coming up, folks. Next Wednesday on the 12th will be at Pronto's. In beautiful, I think that's in Bloomingdale. On the 13th, we'll be at Moretti's in Edison Park. Now, all these shows are outside on the patios. Very cool. The 15th will be in Galena. Forget about it. Vineyard Winery in Galena, Illinois on the 15th. On the 27th, we'll be at the Red Barn Grill. I love that. That's going to be in Mount Prospect, I believe. On the 19th, Cucina Rustica. These are all outside, Cary, Illinois. On the 22nd, we'll be back with the Main Event Band at the Speakeasy, Ron Onesti Speakeasy. And then we'll be at the 30th, we'll be at the Speakeasy for Rat Pack Sunday. Matt Cassane, what do you got coming up? Anything coming up, man, where people can come and see you? Anything coming up soon?
I have a show next week. I'm going to Vegas. It's a private event, but I'll be in Vegas. So if anybody needs Chris Farley for anything while I'm out there, if anybody watching is out in Vegas, I'll be out there for a couple days next week. Hit me up on Messenger. And then on July, I'm going out to Omaha. I'm going to be playing the Benson Theater in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm going to put a call into Warren Buffett, see if he'll come out and hang out with me.
He's fourth richest man in the world, Warren Buffett. Yeah. Love Nebraska. We played in Nebraska. We love it out there. Anything local that people can come see you soon, maybe this summer?
I don't have anything on the books right now, man, but I'm looking to get some gigs. I want to do some private shows. So please, hit me up. Matt Cassane, comedian, actor, is my Facebook page. If you guys are looking for Chris Farley, the Blues Brothers, the Bears guy, of course, President Trump, I do all those characters at parties. I also do a little DJ work too. So if anybody's having a block party, I love doing that. I've been a DJ since I was like, I've been a DJ since I was 17 years old.
You've been doing it a long time. Do you still do the game show stuff like you did for us, The Price is Right? Do you still bring down those games to people's homes too? Because
Yeah, I do. I do the Family Feud. Yeah, I do the Family Feud.
Guys, if you're having a party coming up, now come on, everybody has parties, anniversaries. Guys, listen to this. Matt Cassane has Family Feud. He comes out and plays the part and gives the questions. It's very cool. We did it here at our house years ago. It's very, very cool. You got to go. Matt Cassane can help you with a lot of great stuff. He has a lot of fun. Before we let you go, Matt, it is Wednesday, June 5th. Let's not forget our good friends from Deutz Power Center, servicing construction area and the diesel area in the Chicagoland area. That's Deutz Power Center. Birthdays for June 5th. Are you ready? Okay, let's see. Susie Quattro. Loved her. Remember, didn't she play Pinky? Didn't she play whatchamacallit on Fonzie? on
Leather
Happy Days.
Tuscadero.
Letty Cascadero, that's it. Got great character actor Bruce Dern celebrating, I guess, a birthday. Gorilla Monsoon for all you wrestling fans. I used to love him. Jamie Lee Curtis turned 61 years old. Lex Luger, of course, another great wrestling from WWF. Very cool. Johnny Weissmuller was the original, wasn't he the original Tarzan? Now we're going way back on television, folks. Angelo Coramato, my good friend, a great singer from Naples, Italy, who comes to town and plays. It's his birthday. Richie Vea, how you doing, Richie? Hope it's your birthday. Dan Dillon, the drummer from Mojo's Jukebox, celebrating a birthday. How about Diana Canova? Remember? I forgot. She used to be on Soap. I forgot the character that she played, but I always liked her. Yeah, let's go. And Michael Jackson's pet chimp monkey Bubbles turns 40 years old, living in Florida, 40 years old. Pat Boone turns 90 years old. And my good buddy Vito Zotto, his wonderful dog Rocky, celebrating a birthday today. Hey, and don't forget one of my favorite singer-songwriters, the great Tommy Evans, part of Badfinger. He was part of the partner along with Peter Ham, who wrote some great songs. Of course, he died tragically. Of course, Tommy Evans from Badfinger celebrating a birthday. Now, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host will be the great Laura Ocean. And Friday, we have another surprise guest. It's going to be a lot of fun here, folks. Tomorrow, don't forget, Thursday, Zaza's in Lake Barrington. Friday, Chicago Prime. Saturday, the Lyric Theater in Blue Island. And Sunday, Munster, Indiana, with Ocean's Rat Pack. A lot of stuff here. Matt, we got a couple minutes left, buddy. Jerry Seinfeld.
If I can give a quick plug out to my podcast.
Yeah, when is that? Yeah, good idea. How do they hear that, man?
All my podcasts going all the way back to like 2017 are up on Spotify now, Tone. And I just did a new one. I'm really proud of it. I just did it a couple days ago. It's all about the summer of 1979. Steve Dow, Disco Demolition, Cheap Trick at Budokan, The Knack, off Broadway. If you guys loved any of that stuff, I suggest you go check it out. Fun little audio clips. Plus, I do an interview with Lance Towser. It's a classic interview from 2017. Lance was the curator of a museum exhibit in Elmhurst called Disco Demolition: The Night Disco Died. And I interviewed him. He's a fantastic, very, very amazing. I don't know if you guys had a chance to go out and see this museum exhibit, but I put pictures of it up on my Facebook page too. But anyway, check that out. It's just called It's just called the Matt Cassane Show on Spotify. What, Tone? I'm sorry, what?
Is that museum still out there? Can you still see that thing for Disco Demolition?
The museum exhibit is not there anymore, but the Elmhurst Museum is still there.
Oh, it's still there. That's and speaking of great comics and stuff, we were talking about Jerry Seinfeld. Really wasn't a fan of him. I'm a big fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm, of course, with Larry David. But Jerry Seinfeld did say that he's the way this world is right now with this politically correct shit. You can't say this. It really put a damper on comedians. And then for Jerry Seinfeld to come out and say that, what's your feelings on that, Matt? I mean, your hands are tied. You can't say shit anymore, correct?
It's a pretty interesting culture we're living in right now, dude. Yeah. I've never been like a super political comic. You know, I've always kind of like just done light comedy.
I'm talking about in general. Man, I forget the political part. What about just
characters? Impersonations. I kind of keep it light. So, but I feel for the guys that have something to say. I really do. I feel bad for them.
Well, what I'm just talking about the regular. Could a Chris Rock right now? Could a Richard Pryor? Could a Red Fox? Could these people come out there right now and do a stand up? Look at the problems that J what's his name, Ross. That they can't, or can Dice Clay go out there now and do his shit?
Oh man, no way, no.
But just name 5 or 6, right? Can anybody? Can any out there? I mean, even the country guys. I forgot those guys. The country comedians out there that did the 4 guys, whatever. Any of these guys that are out there, what can they do right now?
Yeah, I
They
think
can't.
you're talking about Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. Okay. Look at those guys. Could they say, I know you're a hillbilly? Can you say that now? That
I
joke?
don't know, man. It's everybody's so hypersensitive these days. It's tough. It's rough.
It's just bullshit, and it's
Yeah.
going to get even worse if it stays with this regime going into November. But if a comic can't even go out and have a fun, I mean, I granted, the people like Dice and stuff, and other those people that were, they do like the 11 o'clock show, or they'll do the midnight show because people, that's going to happen. I just hope we can still have some fun. But it's funny though, man. I know we passed our hour, but isn't it funny though that all those comics can't do nothing, but you know what? You can still watch All in the Family every day, and you can watch Sanford and Son every day, and you can watch the Jeffersons every day, and you can watch Laughing every day. You can watch the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. They're on every day. Now, isn't it hypocritical?
It's here. Look, since Lenny Bruce, the early 60s, late 50s, nothing has really changed. He broke the mold. He set the groundwork for all the other comics. He made it okay for everybody else, like George Carlin and Red. Well, Red Fox was swearing a lot.
Yeah,
But I mean, for the mainstream guys to drop the F-bomb on stage, and that poor guy, Lenny Bruce, he went to jail like I don't know how many, a dozen times.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. He did. They arrested him right on jail. So it makes you wonder. That's crazy. But anyway, we'll have to be another conversation. Guys, we got to go. I want to thank Matt Cassane I want to thank former President Donald Trump. I want to thank you all, brother, for everything. I do appreciate it, Matt. Guys, remember, buy local, shop local. Please keep going, support local establishments and live entertainment. It's very, very important. In the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. Goodbye, everybody. God bless you. You have a great day. And Nick Sahajas, the piano man, please have a good one. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Bye-bye, everybody.